Hey, Tubies! It's Psychic Bob, and here we are. Welcome to Sunday evening. You know, Psychic Bob got all decked out. I got my witch hat on. I got my purple cord on. That means we are at our favorite time of the week, the witching hour. That's right. So here we are. I am so glad you guys are with us. And we've got, most of our old crew here. Lord Tony won't be with us tonight because he's tied up getting ready for his son's graduation that's coming. But we got Lady Angela. Lady Angela, you want to say hello to everybody?
Hi, everybody. Super glad you're all here and very excited for tonight's show.
And we also have Lady Carol Pettis, who's, Carol, your camera doesn't seem to be on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it right now.
Okay. That's weird. There you are.
There she is.
Yeah, it was a setting. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, we got you now. I tell you, we are so excited. You know, Sunday is such a special time for us because, you know, we love to gather with the members of the Order of the Purple Cord and talk about all things magical and witchy. And, you know, for those of you who were with us last week, we had a wonderful ritual. We did the calling of the quarters, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of you wrote and said how much you enjoyed that. We're going to be doing more of that. But this week, we thought we'd just kind of keep it kick back and chill. Tonight's just going to be family night. We're all just hanging out, sharing our world, talking about life, talking about all that fun stuff. By the way, speaking of life and fun stuff, how you like my shirt I'm wearing tonight? Isn't that cool?
I love that shirt.
Witchcraft, yay! Mm-hmm. And I'm wearing my little Aquarius charm. This is one of my little vintage silver charms tonight. And I got on my purple cord. I got my witch hat on. I'm styling, you know.
Yeah.
You know, ladies, both y'all, I got to ask you, because you're really more the fashion queens than Psychic Bob. Do you know any designers like Givenchy or Gucci, if they make witch hats? Does anybody know about that?
No, I wouldn't have a clue.
No.
Right?
You know, I think if I could find a major designer to make a witch hat, that would start a whole new fashion trend.
That's true. Now, I've been jealous of some of Carol's hats. She has those nice ones that kind of bend back like this. And I've been trying to find them online. I haven't been able to luck out into them, though, but I kind of like those.
I do, too.
Yeah, I'm not wearing my hat tonight, but, you know, I decided, just let it go.
That's right, girl. That's all good.
Your beautiful beads you're wearing tonight. Tell us about those.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Actually, this is a purple cord that I made. It's out of leather.
I found
purple leather, and I braided it into a cord so that when I'm not wearing my heavy one, I can wear my lightweight.
I love it. Isn't that wonderful? That is so awesome.
That's cool. Well, I'm wearing my pinnacle shirt and my big old purple cord and my crystal and my evil eye bracelet.
Oh, look at that. You are styling, girl.
Which I'm loving. Oh, and I got a new treasure in the mail today.
I have a red one. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a red one.
Oh, I see it. Yes.
Yeah. And then I'm also wearing my blue. Well, I'd have to take it off because I'm kind of far away from the camera.
We can see it.
But it's one I think Bob would like.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Yeah. The class was caught.
Oh, don't do it on my account, Carol.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think Bob's eyes just popped out of his head and he's drooling.
I know. I'll have to give him one later.
Oh my God.
I got a new treasure in the mail. I got to show and tell.
All right. Do tell.
I ordered a purple lantern. Isn't this pretty? I am crazy about it. And I thought I'd dedicate it to the purple cord and burn candles in there like the sacred flame and write us a blessing or a sacred flame prayer. And a lot of times we get prayer requests in our group. And I thought this would be a great thing. I'm going to make a special altar for it, and I can burn a candle for people when they're wanting special energy sent towards them or prayers, and I can burn them a special candle in the purple cord lantern for them. What do you think about that, Bob?
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I think that's wonderful. We've been needing some work like that. So that'll be a perfect addition to our work, you know. I love it. I love it.
Cool.
You know, I forgot to open the chat room. I can't see. I kept saying, where's everybody chatting tonight? And I realized
we got a bunch of new names and a bunch of regulars, Bob. We got Simba, we got T Rose Lover, we got Gav, we got Timothy Gallagher, Laura M, Lady Witch, Loving Life, Amy Bell's in the house. We got a lot of Purple Core people in the chat and some new people too. We're so glad to have you all. Horror Beauty Effects is here. Magical Fox, a lot of faithful followers. Billy Atkinson. It's so exciting to share this time with all of you every week. We really look forward to it. We kind of planned for it. And tonight's going to be a cool show, huh, Bob?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, we're going to have fun tonight. And, you know, so many of you have been trying to get questions in about Wicca. And, you know, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about your Wiccan questions. Some of you have spell questions. Some of you have herbalism questions. You know, we got Carol here. She's an expert herbalist. And, you know, Lady Angela is an expert also at great magical things. And, you know, I do a little spirit conjuring. So we have a little bit of everybody's talent going on here tonight.
Now, here's a good one about Tammy. She's one of our Purple Cord people. She's been a friend of mine for a while. She wrote me an interesting question, Bob, that I thought I'd put to you tonight. She says, usually like when something good is about to happen for her and she looks outside, and she'll see owls, and she takes that as a good sign. Well, she's been expecting some change to happen. She looked out, and a raven flew up and made a point of getting right in her direct sight from her window, and made a point of letting her see him, or her. The raven did. So that's an interesting thing about like harbingers of good and just animal symbology. And what would you speak on that about, Bob?
Well, you know, let me start with the owls. You know, the owl is sacred to the goddess Athena, and she's a powerful protectress goddess. Now, I don't know if she worships Athena, but, you know, sometimes the gods intervene in our lives even when we don't realize it. So I love that. Now, you know, I happen to have a great love for ravens, and they have always been powerful guides and protectors. And so whenever a raven appears, especially if you're a Wiccan, it's really a protection sign. It means you're being guided. Don't be afraid. We're with you. And sometimes the raven also kind of gives us little physical direction. Like if you're going down a road and a raven blocks, like lands in the middle of the road, it might mean you might want to think about an alternate route, like where you're going, so you don't have any trouble or delay. And I think that the raven is always a sign of guidance. Like, don't be afraid. You're being protected and guided.
Oh, great advice, Bob. That's really great advice.
Well, I can tell you in my own journey, it literally happens. Well, not every day, but for a while it happened every day. Literally, ravens would follow me wherever I'd walk, and they would land and block areas. And I knew that if I went up that way, there would be problems. Because I had for a while some people who were physically stalking me on foot, and the ravens kept me out of all of that. So I'm a big believer in the ravens.
Mm-hmm. I think it is important that we pay attention to our surroundings, to the animals that appear, to certain trees that we pass by, you know, just certain things that catch our attention at a glance. It could be our normal, regular routine or path that we go through each day, but just for some reason, something caught your eye and you turn and look. And it speaks wonders to us. You know, we got to always be attentive to our surroundings. Wouldn't you say so, Carol?
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people don't pay much attention to nature, and the fact that, you know, we have so many different animals that come to us: birds, bees, butterflies, dogs, cats, you know. And sometimes, you know, there's a reason, you know, that they come into our, you know, our path. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a dog. This happened some time ago, but I had a dog that literally was a stray dog, and it got right in my path as I was walking down the sidewalk. Well, of course, our natural reaction is to shoo the dog away and, you know, get out of my way. I'm in a hurry. Well, fortunately for me, the dog blocked that path. And just as I went around the dog, there was a wreck right on the corner. And if I would have gotten there, I probably would have gotten hit.
Very interesting.
Very
That's amazing. That reminds me of recently in one of Bob's videos, a Messages from the Spirit World video, a lady had asked about a connection between her and her pet. I think her pet's name was Daisy. And in a past life, she had died in a car wreck. And the dog had tried to protect her, but for whatever reason, she still passed. And now her pet is her familiar now in this life. And she feels that connection. And I remember Bob told her to watch for the signs. You know, if that dog comes up, tries to, just like you said, get in the way and stop her from going, it could be, you know, a rollover from the past life. The dog's very protective of her. So that's awesome. I really agree with all that.
Oh, yes. Our spirit animals, our pets can very much be spirit guides as well. So absolutely. I just saw a question I want to jump in on. Amy Diana's here. She's from Scotland, longtime viewer of mine. And lady Amy Diana, I want to first of all give you a shout out. Thank you for staying up so late, because right now it's like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. in Scotland. And she had a good question about the Morrigan. And she says everywhere she goes, she's seeing crows. And she feels that she's being called by the Morrigan and wants to know, how does one connect with the Morrigan? And I have to tell you, you know, I'm fascinated by the Morrigan because I happen to be a great devotee of the goddess Kali. Now, Kali is the dark mother from India. But I've always said that the Morrigan is the Western Kali. And, you know, that's been my experience. And one of the things I'd say, when you want to connect with the Morrigan, of course, always do it reverently, okay? But, you know, like we were talking about, like the raven earlier and the signs from animals, as you said, you yourself are encountering crows. So talk to the crows as if you're talking to the Morrigan. The reason why is she sends those as harbingers of her presence. And it's been recorded that the Morrigan, when she shapeshifts and oftentimes takes actually the form of the crow. So she takes the form of a flock of crows. So she divides her substance into multiple forms at the same time, which is a very distinct feature of that goddess. So you can talk to the crows and you'll talk to the Morrigan. That's a great way to connect. Do you guys have anything you want to add about the Morrigan or how to connect?
I don't so much follow the Morrigan herself. She's just not a goddess I've ever really connected with. So whatever you say goes.
Okay. Carol, you have any thoughts on that?
No, not really. I mean, I pay attention to all the different signs of nature, and you know, I treat them all like little gods running around, you know.
Yeah.
And I've actually had some people get mad at me because I've gone to like HEB and bought a loaf of bread, and I'm sitting there feeding all the birds, and they're like, "Why are you feeding the birds?" And I'm like, "Well, they have to eat too, you know."
Absolutely. And, you know, I think that's so important, Carol. What you're saying is because our compassion, as witches, we have a natural interaction with the animals. It's very interesting because it seems almost everybody I've met who's a Wiccan seems to have some mystical experience with an animal. And it's not a prerequisite or anything, but it's just an interesting trend I've noticed.
Very good point.
Yeah, I think a lot of us forget that, you know, we're just a big part of nature ourselves. You know, we want to put ourselves in a superior aspect, and in reality, we forget the simple part of our life. And that, I think, is where the confusion comes in, because, you know, a lot of us don't take that moment to stop and smell the roses or notice the beauty of, you know, everything around us, because we're living in this hustle and bustle life. And, you know, I'm the kind of person, I'm like, hold on a minute. You know, if this is happening over here and I see a flock of birds, you know, the first thing I'm going to do is go, oh, you know, if I have anything to feed them. You know, I've actually gone and bought a bag of peanuts. I can't eat peanuts. I, you know, have no teeth. Well, why am I buying peanuts? Because there's squirrels that need to eat. People think I'm weird because I do that, but I'm always giving little gifts, you know, in that way. You know, we forget to honor nature for what it is. I mean, it's a part of us.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of something, just a concept I have that I hold dear is, you know, a big part of being Wiccan that I love is that we see and experience and express God in all things. You know, everything around us, we know that the divine lives within it. The God and goddess lives within all things. It's nature, it's air, it's humans, it's animals, it's rocks, it's trees, it's everywhere and in everything. And we walk with the gods in every day. And it's something in contrast to, I mean, when I was younger and studied in Christianity, it seemed like their whole life they were scared to be happy and had to wait till they died to be close to their creator. Whereas I feel blessed as a Wiccan because I feel close to my creator in every moment of every day and every act, you know, and it just reminds me of that. So,
yeah, I think that's what a lot of people forget, you know.
Absolutely. Simba asks us, what are our favorite stones? Well, she says my name first, so I'll answer first. My favorite stone is selenite. Selenite stone I love because it's a natural channel of angelic energy. It helps your mediumship. It helps you read tarot cards. I have a selenite palm stone I hold when I read tarot. And I just really love selenite. There's a lot of rocks I really love. I just love all rocks. But selenite would have to be probably my favorite at this time.
For me, it would be amethyst. I love amethyst stones. And, you know, matter of fact, years ago, I actually got onto a website. And they were actually giving away, you know, little prizes and things. And so I put my name in thinking, oh, you know, maybe I'll get something, maybe I won't. Well, they sent me a little cluster of amethyst. And I was like, wow, I didn't even think I was going to get it, you know. But it was actually it's fairly large piece. And, you know, when I got it in the mail, I was like so excited. I was like, what is this? And I saw the name and I was, you know, just overjoyed because I did not expect to even get anything.
It's a great stone. What do you got, Bob? I sense that you fetched something big.
I had to bring a treasure to show y'all. This ties into my favorite stone. You recognize this stone here?
Oh, wow.
Now let me tell you, I got to be honest about this. This looks like an aquamarine. It's not a real aquamarine.
My gosh, it looks like it's a real one.
Huge. It's from Tiffany's. It's a Tiffany's paperweight.
Oh, Jesus.
That I bought a few years ago. It's a Tiffany's. But it's cut like an actual aquamarine and it's colored. And you can see like, hold on, let me turn it around. It's like,
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, Tiffany's used to, they don't make them anymore, but they used to make these paperweights in different gemstones. And this is a giant aquamarine that I bought.
Me and Carol are drooling. We wish we had paperweights that majestic.
Actually, I do have one, and I'll get it and show you guys. It's
about
the same size, but it's more like a diamond.
Oh, okay.
Let me grab that one.
All right, wonderful. So this is it's actually not a real aquamarine, but I do have real aquamarines, but they're stored away right now. But this looked like a giant aquamarine. I about died. And I said, you know, I had to have it. And
this is my diamond.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got one like my, oh. Let's see, talk. Okay, we can't see it till you talk.
Yeah, and it literally sparkles when it hits light. I'm trying not to flash everybody with it, but I've had this thing now for, oh God, about 12, 13 years. And what I actually do with it, I use it to scry. I use it as a scrying stone because it's so clear that I can actually use this. This was my first crystal ball.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I still keep it protected and clean and everything else. And every now and then, if I'm kind of in a rush and I don't want to pull out one of my bigger balls, I will get this and start scrying in it.
I love that. Well, we got the big jewels, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Bob, show us your favorite one now, Bob.
Oh, well, I have a real aquamarine, but I don't have it. It's back locked up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No. I thought you were going to show us your ginormous, huge emerald.
Oh, my emerald, my Andara emerald. Actually, that's too heavy to lift it. I'm too tired. I'd break a shoulder if I try to lift that. But I'll show that another show. We should have a show where we just show gemstones for the whole show. You know?
Oh, wouldn't that be neat? God, I'd have to drag a big pile.
Well, I have to play for that, but maybe we could do that like next week or something.
That's nice. Gab says something wonderful about the purple cord I'd like to share live on our show. He says, I'll tell you the truth. What I love about the OPC, which is Order of the Purple Cord for short, is what I love about the OPC is the comradeship. Despite being thousands of miles apart, we're all so close and always help each other. His favorite stone is lapis lazuli, and second is selenite. That's so sweet.
Well, yeah, that's very kind of you. Thank you. We're glad you're here, you know, and we really are a family. This is, I created the Order of the Purple Cord because there are a lot of people interested in Wicca solitary, and they don't have a coven near them. So, you know, this is what would it be like if you were actually in a physical coven. We'd all be doing this anyway. So now, because of technology, we can create our coven.
Shelley Press says, Bob and Angela, what's your favorite Sabbat? Theirs is Beltane, the chase of love between the god and goddess. Now, Bob, your favorite Sabbat's coming up.
Oh, yes.
You told me before. It's your favorite.
My favorite Sabbat is the solstice, the summer solstice, or what they call it, Litha. I'm a sun worshiper. Well, I'm a moon worshiper mostly. But when it comes to Sabbats, that is my holiday. I go out and I literally set up an altar under the sun and have a ritual in the park. I don't care if anybody watches because it's so sacred to me. So that's coming up, and we're going to have videos about that also.
Yep.
Carol, what about you?
Mine is actually Samhain.
Samhain.
Yeah, that's definitely mine.
You all both love the witch holiday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my second favorite, actually.
Holy cow, Stephen Jones, he's going to get to go to Stonehenge. Oh, man, that would be so cool to go to Stonehenge.
Oh, Stephen, you got to, let me tell you, do it. I've got a story to tell about Stonehenge. I used to live in England several years ago. I had a British girlfriend. I lived over in Cambridge, England. And she used to say, well, Bob, do you want to go see Stonehenge? And I hate to say, I wasn't into Wicca back then. And I said, no, I said, I'd rather go see, something else. And I said, I don't want to go see any old rocks in a field. That just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know where my head was. And in those days, there was no fences around Stonehenge. You could literally go and take lunch and eat in among the stones. Literally, that's what people used to picnic on Stonehenge. You can't do that anymore from what I understand. But I missed it. And I'm still to this day kicking myself. So you better go for me.
You know what they have online now? You can actually get these like 3D panoramic video views. I seen one on Facebook. It's on YouTube too, where it shows Stonehenge, and as you move your mouse, it's just like you're there turning your head, and you can explore it. And you can do this about these different things now, these different world wonders and different places, and it's just amazing. I really like it.
I saw one of those recently. Yeah. They did the Royal Palace in Spain. Somebody put up one of those. That was you could like you walk through the palace and see all the rooms.
Very nice.
Let's see who else we got. We got a lot of chat going on tonight, guys. We're trying to follow it best we can, so bear with us.
Armani's here. Hi, Armani.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, Gavin Hines says, oh, you already read that one. Okay. Oh, wait, no, wait. No. Yes, Bob, I feel like you're all part of my family. My favorite Sabbath is Yule. I love the greens and reds and fresh greenery.
Very nice.
I think each of the Sabbats have such a distinct energy, and it makes them all fascinating. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Timothy Gallagher said 360 mode with Windows 10.
Google.
Okay. That's what it's called. Okay. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate that. Timothy's quite up on his technology.
I know like several people have been asking about herbs and, you know, where to find information. And I have a few books here because the rest are in my storage. But I wanted to kind of show them off to kind of give them a reference point as to, you know, where they can start looking. And, you know, maybe even, you know, you guys can find some of these too. Now, this is one that was gifted to me years and years ago. And I still love this book even today. What it is, let me see if I can kind of bring that down.
Illustrated.
But it is the Encyclopedia of Herbs.
Huh.
And I don't know if it's still in publication, but I just love this book. What this book has is literally illustrations of your herbs.
Right.
Not only does it give you a description, but it gives you pictures of what they all look like.
Yeah.
Oh my God, full color.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
You can actually reference, you know, herbs. A lot of times people will see like what they think are weeds, and they're actual wild herbs growing.
Yep.
That can be used.
Now, what's the author's name of that book, Carol?
Sarah Bunny. I don't know if I can.
Got it.
Oh, I love that, Carol.
I wrote that down.
Yeah,
Carol,
and it's the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs.
Very nice.
Do they have the dill weed or dill herb in there? D-I-L-L, dill?
Yes, they do.
I mean, I'm just curious. My father used to grow dill, and I grew up around dill plants.
I actually have grown dillweed. I've grown parsley. You know, you can find all of those herbs. It doesn't have it alphabetized, but it does. It does have all of that in there, and there's even you know, information in here. And it goes into some history. I don't know if you can see, but I will give you.
Neat. It looks like mandrake. Yep, that's mandrake there.
It's the history of mandrake. How it's grown, how to cultivate it, what parts are, you know, usable, what parts are not. It actually does have some medical information about it, the flowers, fertilization period.
Very nice.
It even goes into I don't know if you can see treatments, medical herbs, different forms of treatments that can be used. I mean, I love this book. Like I said, I don't know if it's still in publication, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, you know, herb books like this out there. This is actually what was my kickstart into herbalism. You know, when I decided I wanted to study herbs because I love plants, this was the book that actually started me out with that.
I tell you what started me out with herbs is several of Scott Cunningham's books. He has some herbal encyclopedia books that are amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Scott Cunningham, I have one of his herbal books. Well, actually, I don't have it here. It's in the back, but love his books too.
Yeah, I have his complete herbal guide, and also it has some of his remedies in there, but I don't have it with me because it's been packed. These are just a few that I've kind of been going through, you know, and looking at. Now, I actually got 2 copies of this book, which is the one of my other dictionaries of herbalism, and the author for that one is, well, it's very, very tiny. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Simon Mills.
Yes. Now, this one I'm actually, still going through. But somewhere along the line, I don't know how, I ended up getting 2 copies. So I have an extra copy. So I'm wondering if either Lady Angela or Lord Bob may want the second copy.
There's going to be a fight.
Or, you know how we were talking about, well, Lady Angela actually brought up the whole thing of an incentive.
Oh.
This can actually be used as an incentive for, like a lottery pull or,
type
something.
Thing.
So I was thinking about donating that as, my part of, the OPC, and also being part of the Witching Hour, so that, someone out there that's new to the craft or wants to study herbs will have their, first book.
That's generous and a great idea.
It's very generous. I think that's wonderful. I love that. I just want to give a shout out real quick. Nigella for me is here. She's been a longtime friend of mine at Spirit Channel, and she just added that she grew up with her father growing herbs, and it looks like there was an herb she used to eat called purslane.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. We also got Mama Bird and Debbie Webby here. There's some longtime followers as well. We're glad to see you all here, and the new people too. Shadowlander's here, Kayla's here. Hey, Bob, there's been a lot of discussion on our Purple Cord page on Facebook and also here in the chat tonight. You had made mention of looking into making hoodies or T-shirts, and everybody's really fired up about that and excited. Any updates on that?
Well, that's still in the works, so we're getting there, No, I really do want to do it. I just have, this week has been a challenging week for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. As you know, well, some of you may not know, but I'm a full-time psychic, for those who don't know. So my schedule's been really crazy this week. Busy, good busy, thank you. But sometimes it gets in the way of me doing some of the funner stuff. But I am actually working on looking at the shirts. I'm thinking about actually hiring. I tried to design graphics for us. I'm not a great graphic artist. So we may, I'm working on getting a professional graphic artist actually who will help us create a unique look for our order. So we'll have a shirt with a unique design that will be distinctly purple cord, Mm-hmm. So we're working on that. If any of you are graphic artists or know anybody, we're open to receiving, some help on that.
Also, I was looking, Bob, I saw some, I watch Hulu a lot, and it has commercials, and they were popping up about, me and you were talking about some different features that are available through Wix. Wix.com has a logo maker, Wix logo maker or Wix logo designer. And we might look into that too, as one option, or any advice you guys have on that too. We're always open to suggestions. We're trying to find the right fit because we're proud of a purple cord, order the purple cord. We want something that really pops and represents us in a big way. So we're exploring different avenues.
Yeah, we want a shirt with a logo that you're going to get excited about. Like, for example, I'm wearing, as I showed you, my Witchcraft shirt. I love this shirt. Like, this shirt just calls me. And I want something that gets me as excited as I feel about this shirt,
Right. Or something like this, purple core, or the purple core. Something that pops. Yeah, we want it exciting. Exactly. Maybe with the lettering as purple rope, or, just different ideas, guys. So, yeah, we're just exploring it and trying to find different places that we could also employ to make the shirts. I know Zazzle does screen printing for you. There's a few other places that make shirts for you and screen printing on shirts. So we're working on it. Just to give you an update, we are working on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kayla just said, she said, I am a digital artist and I design a lot. Okay, Kayla, we want to talk to you. So maybe you can contact me via email. We can at least talk about that. For those of you who want to write to me, if you are artists, my email is, what is it? Readings at, I don't know.
It's been a hell of a week.
It's been a week. Readings at robert-ekman.com. That'll be in the info box below this video when it's done.
Nailed it.
Thank you. You know, I tell you, if it weren't for my witch hat, I wouldn't have any intelligence because this cone of power is keeping me going.
Bob's coming unfettered. Bob, I've been unfettered a long time ago.
Thank God Carol's here. She'll ground us both down.
Well, she almost got us in a fighting match over the book a minute ago.
Now, Lady Angela, you asked me what about basil, right?
Oh, I love basil. Yeah.
Well, it's in the book as well.
Oh, how pretty.
Oh, beautiful.
Basil's a wonderful wealth and prosperity and good fortune plant.
Mm-hmm. And it's, you know, it's an annual plant, but I had some basil that actually survived the winter. Oh. And then when caterpillar season came around and they were all getting ready to become butterflies, they ate up my basil. So,
aww.
It happened.
Yep.
You know, I was like, well, they wanted more, so.
My favorite herb to grow in the garden is rosemary. There is no smell comparable to the smell of fresh rosemary growing in the garden. Even when I water it, just this, it's, you know, dry rosemary, when you grind it up, it kind of has that mentholatum type smell. Well, fresh rosemary, I don't smell that. It's more of a beautiful, potent floral smell. And just watering it, and it just wafts up to me, and I just love it. And I'll even take a little bit, and I'll rub it all over me just so I can smell it, and it lasts, and it lingers, and it's my favorite herb to grow in the garden.
You can actually make an oil out of that, so you can have it all year long.
Oh, yes, yes.
I love it.
Ooh, rosemary and potatoes fried, Timothy says. Yes, absolutely. I'd love to cook with it too. Absolutely.
All right. Somebody just asked me, family, I have a question for y'all. Is Kalima, Oya, and Hecate the same goddess but in different faiths? What about Goddess Melusine and Mama Yamaya? Are they the same goddess? Thanks for the help. Good question. The goddesses that you're talking about, I don't work with them exclusively, but I do know about them. And every witch, I suppose, has their own take on that. I believe that the goddesses, all the goddesses, are unique unto themselves, are unique personalities. They may have similar aspects and similar vibration, but I believe that they're distinct. That's my personal belief. Maybe people see it differently.
Well, that also goes back to, we've discussed before how it's like a diamond, you know, God and goddess, or the Godhead, the all. It's like a diamond with many different faces on it. And each faces, we give names, ways to connect with, ways to personify something that's so much greater than ourselves, which is God. And we have different God and goddess names, and it helps us to relate to aspects. So yeah, they may be different goddesses under different faiths, but really they're all a part of the one whole.
Absolutely. Carol, can you hold up your diamond so we can see the facets? I think that illustrates greatly what Lady Angela's saying. You got to talk.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to hold on to it. It's kind of heavy.
Beautiful.
Yep. And you know, like Christianity, they focus on the Father God. They focus on the diamond as a whole. Whereas like in Catholicism, you have the saints, and those are also comparable to the different facets on the diamonds. Just like we pagans and Wiccans, we connect with different gods and goddesses, just like the different faces on that diamond there.
What I like to do is when I use this, even though it's not a real diamond, I mean, if it were, I would not be sitting here. I'd be, you know, in my big mansion somewhere. But what I like to do is I like to visualize myself in the center. And when I call on the deity, you know, regardless of name or, you know, whatever, I like to envision them circling me, giving me that information instead of the other way around. You know, it's like they're waiting for us to call them, regardless of who they are, what, you know, religion, you know, they represent. I look at it as if, you know, they're our universe.
Yep.
And we're kind of sitting in the middle of it, and they're waiting for us to
Mm-hmm.
say, come help me.
I agree. That's like our free will. You know, they're not going to jump in and guide our lives. If we want to screw up, we're going to screw up. If we want to do right, we're going to do right. And different opportunities that come, if we see them, that's our choice. If we act on them, that's our choice. But if we petition to the angels, to the saints, to the gods and goddesses and say, hey, please give me some strength to do this, you know, and don't just ask them to hand it to you. Ask them to enable you to do it yourself. But you got to ask, because that's when they're going to lend that helping and loving hand. Because you have free will. You have your own choice whether you ask for that help from above and the powers that be or not. So I think that kind of goes along right with what Carol was saying.
I have to. I think that's so true. I just had a question I want to jump in on. Shadowlander asked a good question. He says, Lady Angela, Carol, and Bob, do any of you have any herbs to connect with the ocean and the merfolk that can be found in the kitchen? That's a really good question. I've not really, you know, it's funny, I'm just speaking for myself. I never really think about herbs when I'm doing sea magic, but certainly you could. Do you guys think of it?
Seaweed is definitely there to use. Oh God, coral.
Yeah.
Coral actually is a plant. People don't realize that. What you can see in a fish tank is coral after it dies away. But coral is a living plant as well.
Seaweed's a good one. That's a really good one.
Seaweed.
Salt.
Salt, of course.
Yeah, salt water.
There's oh God, there's so much. I mean, what we see here on the earth, you know, as you know, the ground level, the dirt level, there's just as much in the ocean that a lot of people haven't even thought about. There's so many different types of plants that, you know, you can use. Now, things that we have access to that I can immediately say are coral, seaweed, lilies, which are connected to water, things like that. Now, if you're looking for different type of herb, like, oh, I don't know. Let me see. Kind of going through my little remembering knowledge of herbs. There's, oh God, so many different ones. But I mean, those are just to name a few. If you want to connect, you know, like Lady Angela said, salt. You know, we use salt in our rituals. We don't even consider that salt comes from the ocean. You know, we may not see it as an herb, but in actuality, it is an herb.
Right. It is from the earth. Absolutely. Gav says something funny here. He says that lately he's been leaving little gifts and offerings in his house for his house spirits, even shots of vodka.
Cheers.
And then Timothy Gallagher adds to that, says, well, leprechauns love vodka.
And so do gnomes.
Right.
Gnomes, yes. Of
Well,
course,
I think
if you see the gnome passed out on your floor, you know who they're going to blame.
Right.
I can see the maintenance people coming into my condo going, sir, there are miniature people in your house.
You're leaving little cups of vodka for the little people, not just you.
Well, I have the perfect excuse. I would go, oh, yeah, those are just some of my relatives. They're visiting.
Right. Right.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Oh, my God.
That was funny.
You know, I was thinking the other day about, we had a major thunderstorm. We've had thunderstorms this week on and off. But the other night we had a thunderstorm to end all thunderstorms. I actually was scared. Usually I don't get scared of thunderstorms, but this one, my whole building was shaking. A sonic boom came out of the thunder that literally shook the building. And I thought to myself, boy, if I had planned it better, I could add an altar and channeled all that energy into a spell.
Oh, wow.
You know, we're in the summer. We get a lot of storms, at least in the East Coast. I don't know about where y'all are, but Have you all had any intense thunderstorms, or have you ever done any magic with thunder and lightning?
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Usually when it rains here, I have one of those planters, those square kind that are kind of long for my plants outside. Well, I just bought 2 new ones that are pretty good size. They're window boxes. And what I've been doing is every time it rains and, we have big lightning and thunder, I will go and collect that. I will collect that rain and I will put it up in one of those big jars, like an iced tea jar, and save it so that when I need it, I have my holy, blessed water, and I can refill with that. Now the last time I did do that, I ran outside to go collect rain, and we had several sonic booms close to my apartment complex. And I came back inside, and my cat, which you guys have probably seen, jumped in my lap, and we both shocked each other.
Wow. That's awesome. I do that with rainwater too. We've talked about that on other videos before too. I take whatever the biggest dishes I have, a bowl, a planter, like you said, a bucket, whatever. And whenever it's really coming down and lightning and all of that, I put them outside and I gather that water because it's charged. It's got the natural energy from the sky, and that lightning, it's very potent. And I keep it in different bottles, just like Carol was saying. And Bob does too. I even gave him one of my rain bottle.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful bottle. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like to use that rainwater whenever I'm making, like an oil or even a bath. A lot of times, how you feel drained from the day. I will take some of that water and just bathe with it and recharge my energies that way. Because a lot of people, they don't think about that. I always have this little joke. It's like, oh, it's pouring cats and dogs. And I was like, well, did anybody bring a bar of soap? Yep. We don't think about how that electricity and that energy can actually recharge a lot of us.
I agree.
Absolutely. My grandma.
I got to jump in here real quick because Gab is something I was thinking about. Carol, you were talking about the sonic booms, and I'd heard this. I forgot to say this, but Gav brought up, he says, I watched Secure Team 10, and they said that in the U.S., there has been loads of sonic booms and strange noises lately. I was going to ask you, was that out of the norm, or are you right by a military base that would do that?
No, that was totally out of the norm. Actually, where I live, there are military bases here because there's a lot of Air Force bases here. But that was like, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was just completely silent. And you just hear this crash and this boom, like, out of nowhere. And then you hear another boom, and I'm thinking, that's not, lightning or thunder. What is that? But I couldn't really hang around and look for it. So, it was something weird that happened that night. Although it was raining, and it was raining very hard. At one point, we thought it, may get high enough to actually bring the river over the edge of the bank. But that boom was just a little more than normal.
Yeah. That'd be a great topic for your UFO show one night, Bob, because I know you and I chatted on that before, the big booms.
Yeah, well, the reason why I had to ask that is I'm glad Gavin brought that up, but I actually heard sonic booms where I live this week also, other than the thunderstorm. I mean, this was outside the thunderstorm. I was walking down the road, and I heard 2 giant booms, and I didn't see any fighter jets in the sky or anything. And it's really interesting because it's very rare that I'll hear something on Secure Team 10 and then suddenly experience it in my real life. And I do believe their research is very valid, but it's just interesting that it's happening. And when I heard Carol say, I said, this is really interesting. So we may have to do a whole UFO Friday on that subject.
That'd be a great topic. Kayla says something really, really funny. She says she tried collecting rainwater once in a big dish, But then she went out there to check it later, and it was a frog party going on.
Oh, I love frogs.
Bob, where's the time gone? My goodness.
I can't believe, is it all, oh my, I gotta put my glass, I can't see, and I'm blind today. Oh my God, it's almost 9 o'clock. Guys, where did time go? You know, I'm blaming Lady Carol this week for this.
Let's blame Tony. He's not here. We'll blame him.
Well, you know, you have to kind of be, well, you don't have to be present to make the magic happen. So if somebody in our order is bending time. Now, don't do that, because we never feel like we get an hour with you guys. Doesn't it feel like we've only been here 5 minutes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way it happens when, you know, we're sitting back having a good time, talking about discussion. We're not paying attention to time, and before we know it, it's already gone.
Yep.
Well, you know, one of the reasons why I started this program is, you know, when I was younger, and y'all remember back in the 70s and 80s, before we had internet, people used to actually go over to people's houses. I know this is hard to believe for some of you, but we actually used to have to go to people's houses to see them. And we would go and do visits like this and sit around all evening talking and sipping on Coca-Cola. And, you know, you just don't see that as much anymore. People don't interact. So I wanted this show, you know, to be kind of like what we used to do. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
I do very well. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Flintstones. So
I remember them too. They're awesome.
I love it. Well, I'm telling you, I don't know where the time goes, but, you know, I just want to, you know, first of all, say thank you to all of you come out tonight. We really appreciate it. We try to get in as many questions as we can. So if we didn't get your question, please don't be angry at us. It's just, you know, it's hard to talk and get every single talking point in. But we're just glad you're here. We hope you've had fun with us tonight. And, you know, just want to remind you, keep it here at Spirit Channel, because tomorrow is Monday, and that means
horoscope.
So yay!
That's right, astrology. Lady Angela loves her getting her horoscope.
Yes.
I have fun doing it. I really do. So make sure to be here. And you know, I just wanted to again say thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna let each of them also say good night to you. And I gotta give my website too. If you want to connect with me for a private reading, you can contact my office at 571-483-2112. Leave me a message if I'm not there. I will get it, please. And you can also write to me at my email, readings@robert-eckman.com. If you want to get on my schedule for a reading, please contact me. We have a few openings left this week, and we'll get you in somewhere. Now, if you contact me via email, please include your phone number, because you know, it makes it a lot easier for us to get back to you. And for those who are saying, what's he talking about? As I mentioned earlier, I am a full-time psychic. So a private reading with me, it's you and me one-on-one for an hour. You can do it by telephone or Skype or in person. And we're going to cover everything: past, present, future, spirit guides, past lives, karmic links, messages from your deceased loved ones, all of that. And we'll answer your questions. And I'd love the chance to sit down with you. So thank you. Lady Angela, you want to jump in?
Sure. And I'll tell you, Bob's readings are awesome. I mean, they're phenomenal. I highly recommend it. The only thing you'll regret is you didn't get one sooner, because he is just awesome. And also, if you want to check out some cool witchy stuff, head over to my website at rarewiccaspells.com. I have all sorts of stuff. I have necklaces, I have herbs, I have spell pages, I have spell books, I have trinkets, I have magical tools, just all sorts of stuff. Over 6,000 items. Give me a peek. rarewiccaspells.com. And when you go to checkout, use coupon code Spirit Channel, and you'll always save 10% on my website. Thank you guys, and I look forward to next week too.
Lady Carol?
I just wanted to say, you know, I'm, you know, glad to be part of this group. I'm glad to be part of this family. I love you guys. I don't have a website yet because I'm in the process of preparing to move. But as soon as I do, believe me, you guys are going to be the first to know about it. But if, you know, you need anything, I'll be here. No problem.
Yay. Well, I tell you, we're so excited to have Lady Carol here. For those of you who may have not been here for a few weeks, I should just give a little preface, because some people are probably saying, well, who is Lady Carol? I don't remember her. Lady Carol's the newest officer of our order. Lady Carol, do you want to tell them what your title is?
Yes, I am Keeper of the Sacred Staff. And for most of you people who have not seen the Sacred Staff, let me grab her real quick.
Oh, please, yes. We love this.
It's gorgeous.
Now, I don't know how clear she is on here, but the reason I call it a she is because I refer to her as part of the connection of Mother Nature. And I give, you know, honor in that way. Everything about this staff has a representation connected to nature. Stones, you know, plants, trees, and I even have little items on here. This is a scrying stone. This is a, well, kind of a key ring / connection to the Order of the Purple Cord, which is a little cord. There is a tree of life.
That's beautiful.
I really can see it, but there's a tree of life token here. And I actually told Lord Bob this, I believe it was last week, that if anyone needs healings or, you know, someone to pray for someone else, if you're part of the OPC or, you know, even through Lady Angela or Lord Bob, I am willing to take the sacred staff and use it as a way of connecting us together so that we can all pray for that person or send healing to that person. That is really the purpose of this staff. It is a connection so that we all connect, whether we're, you know, from one side of the East Coast to the other.
Of the world, girl. We're worldwide.
Yes, we're all over the world.
But the sacred staff is kind of our starting point. It is our anchor to each other.
That's beautiful.
So if anyone has a prayer or needs, you know, healings or anything like that, please let us know. As soon as I get my site up, believe me, you can contact me then. But in the meantime, you know, we have ways of connecting. All I'm saying is reach out.
Yeah, reach out to Lady Angela and I. We both have emails that you can reach us through, and we would love to. We'd love to hear from you, Carol. I'm loving your staff. Lady Carol is so generous to spend so much energy to help us with the order, and I want to say thank you. So, for those of you who are just tuning in after a few weeks and don't know who she is, I should have said at the beginning, but anyways, hopefully everybody knows who you are now. Well, we're servicing Lord Tony tonight, and you know he's getting where his son is graduating, so that's nice. Not with us; they're doing preparation for a big event for his son's graduation. So we miss him, but everybody send good light and thoughts and happiness to Lord Tony, and hopefully he'll be with us next week. Actually, you know what? I don't know if his son's graduation's next week. We'll see.
Next week, I think.
So I don't know what day it's on. Probably on a weekday. Usually they do. So he may or may not be with us next week. I don't know what his schedule is, but hopefully he'll be with us. But thank you guys for being here. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. Help me out. You know, I still get a lot of harassment from YouTube. They don't like me because I guess I'm not just, I don't know, I don't fit their agenda. But like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, hit subscribe, be part of this channel. And if you want to join the OPC, Lady Angela, tell them how they can get on the OPC.
You could go to Facebook and type in Order of the Purple Cord. It'll get you over to our major page, and it'll give you our email addresses, or you could just message us through Facebook, and we'll get you added. We'll get you your official certificate to you. We'll give you some links, some other information. We'll get you friended up and added to our secret group page. We have a secret group page basically to protect everybody's privacy. You know, a lot of us may be in the broom closet, so to speak, and our friends, family, colleagues at work don't necessarily know that we are witchy. And so it's a safe place for us to interact and be updated in a private way. So we'll get you added over there, or you can send us an email to opc@rarewiccaspells.com or to Bob, of course, at readings@robert-hickman.com. So we've got a few different.
And just a quick shout out also to Kayla, the graphic artist. Kayla mentioned to me, I saw in a quote that she said she'd sent a letter. I do have a few yet that I have to get on to Lady Angela. So I do know about you. I'm sorry for the delay. I have been really busy, but I have some that I am sending over to her.
Okay, cool. I'll watch out for those. Get them on there tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten you guys. I do get the letters, and I do try to set them aside so they get treated specially. So I haven't forgotten you. Well, guys, it's time to wrap it up. I tell you, I don't know where the time goes. But yeah, let's blame Lord Tony. He made that.
I'll second that.
The votes are all in. It's Tony's fault this time.
He's not here to defend himself. It's on him.
Oh, well, so much for taking personal responsibility. Well, guys, I've had the best time. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow for horoscopes. And in the meantime, go over and check out rarewiccaspells.com because, you know, Lady Angela, she'll not only make you a custom book of shadows, she sells spells, she sells ritual supplies, everything you want. And remember, put in Spirit Channel, you'll get a discount. We'll see you back here tomorrow for horoscopes, and of course next week for another witching hour. And until then, may you all always blessed
be.